Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, garden spot of the world. The farms found here are some of the most productive in the country. Each year, tourists arrive in this area to see and to learn more about the hardworking people known as the Amish, the people who have resisted change in our modern times, choosing to plow their fields with horses. Snuggled within this timeless setting, between the green fields, are creeks and streams. This water power was harnessed to power mills. This is Risser's Mill, located in the western part of Lancaster County. In order for the mills to do business with farmers on both sides of the creek, covered bridges were constructed. The bridges were covered to protect the timbers. This 82-foot bridge was built in 1872 over the Little Chickies Creek. Many of the bridges you are about to see are well off the beaten path and deep into Pennsylvania Dutch country. Because of weight restrictions, they carry only local traffic. The Theodore Burr Arch construction is found in this bridge and most of the other bridges we will see. The arch runs the length of the span, holding the supporting timbers in place. First covered bridge on the northern part of the Cocalico Creek is Booker's Mill Bridge near Reamstown. Originally constructed in 1891, it has been rebuilt several times due to damage by flood waters of the Cocalico. Only 60 feet long, it is one of the shortest covered bridges still being used in the area. Something you notice about the Keller's Mill Bridge is it is white, not red. In fact, originally, just about all bridges were whitewashed inside and out. The 70-foot-long bridge was built in 1891 and is located near Akron. Zook's Mill Bridge almost went Hollywood. It was filmed for a Jerry Lewis movie that was never released. The 89-foot span was built near Brownstown in 1849 for only $700. The bridge has had very little flooding from the Cocalico, but it does have a high water marker from the Agnes 1972 flood. One of the most scenic bridges is located on the Hammer Creek. This is Erb's Bridge, well known for appearing on many calendars, postcards, and paintings. The 80-foot structure was built in 1887. The bridge shows one of the original uses of covered bridges, advertising. The insides were painted as billboards, advertising hardware stores, blacksmith shops, and funeral parlors. A local Mannheim artist, Irma K. Wenger, was so moved by the beauty of this bridge and its setting, she put brush to canvas and presented this artistic rendering. The Landis Mill Bridge is located on the Little Conestoga, near Park City, a busy shopping area. The 1873 bridge uses the King Post Truss, no arch, and is only 53 feet in length, the shortest in Lancaster County. Located next to busy Route 30, the Willows Bridge was reconstructed in 1962 from the Goods Fording and Miller's Farm bridges. You won't have far to gallop. It's only 72 feet over the Mill Creek beneath the boards. 1876, Kurtz's Mill Bridge was built. The 94-foot bridge originally spanned the Conestoga River, but after the flood of '72 was moved to its current location over the Mill Creek in Lancaster County Central Park. The 128-foot Red Run Bridge is on private land, but can easily be seen from the road. The 1866 span is currently being used as a storage barn. This could truly be called a bridge to nowhere because the waters of Muddy Creek were diverted around the bridge in such a way that no water flows under its piers. A landlocked covered bridge is an ominous sight. It could be imagined ghosts reside here on Halloween. Also on private land is the 1844 58-foot-long Buck Hill Bridge, originally known as the Eichelberger Store Bridge. It was moved to the Kissel Hill location by the current owners, where it spans a small pond. This is the former Jackson Sawmill near Quarryville. And next to it, the Jackson Sawmill Bridge. The 1878 bridge's piers were washed away by the Octorara Creek. It was rebuilt and rededicated by the Lancaster County Commissioners in 1985. Again, the Theodore Burr King Post Arch spanning 156 feet. This location is in the very heart of the Amish country. Within sight of the slumbering Groundhog Lodge on the banks of the west branch of the Octorara sits White Rock Forge Bridge. It is 87 feet in length and was last rebuilt in 1884. This bridge sees a great deal of rural activity in the course of a day. It is a hard-working antique. This is Mannheim Memorial Park, home of Shearer's Bridge, spanning the Big Chickies Creek. The 89-foot bridge was first constructed in 1847. As the result of a community effort, the bridge was saved from demolition when a new bridge was to be built on the Colebrook Road. It was moved intact 4 miles to the park in 1971. Today, the bridge is in excellent shape as pedestrians and bicyclists enjoy its beauty and shade on a sunny July day. Further down the Chickies is the Kaufman Distillery Bridge, built in 1874. The 96-foot bridge is spanned with a common Theodore Burr King Post Arch. On a hot summer day, the shade is appreciated by man and beast. Although a distillery was once located near here, no evidence of that structure remains. The Chickies winds southward to Shanks Mill Bridge, one of the best maintained covered bridges in Lancaster County. It was first built in 1847 and rebuilt in 1855. This bridge measures 96 feet. A road marker leads us to the 91-foot-long Segrist Mill Bridge, also on the Chickies. The bridge is located in a good fishing spot. Just ask this lad. Heading south, the last covered bridge on the Chickies is Forey's Bridge, erected in 1869 by Elias McMillan. McMillan is well known across Lancaster County as a man who designed and built over 40 bridges. We now head northward on the Conestoga River, which means a river that winds around trees. That is exactly what it does near the Pool Forge Bridge. Built in 1859, it is rumored James Buchanan met one of the loves of his life on this very bridge, although the former president never did marry. The bridge now rests on privately owned land, but can easily be seen from the road near Churchtown. Near Goodville is Weaver's Mill Bridge. Although the bridge is over 100 years old, it is in excellent condition because of the surrounding flat land and high piers, and has not been touched by the waters of the Conestoga. This is Eberle's cider mill. The waters of the Conestoga will soon be put to work here to make electricity. Nearby is the bridge of the same name. Built in 1846, it is the oldest remaining covered bridge in the state highway system. This bridge was about to be demolished when local neighbors saved the day. The Pinetown Bridge is located near Oregon, where the waters of Lititz Run meet the Conestoga. Built 2 years after the Civil War, the 133-foot bridge was washed downstream during the Agnes flood. It came to rest only a few hundred yards from the Hunsaker Bridge downstream. Workmen then were able to return the bridge to its piers. This is the 180-foot-long Hunsaker Bridge, the last as we move southward on the Conestoga River. It is the second longest and newest in the county since the original span was destroyed by Agnes. The state was scheduled to put in a replacement concrete bridge, but once again, the local residents prevailed and the covered bridge was built using modern technology. Much of the character of this bridge is its unpainted exterior. We will now trace the bridges of the Pequay Creek. First is the Paradise Bridge, built in 1893. In the past, the 113-foot structure suffered roof damage from tractor trailers. The day we were filming, some construction was in progress on the piers. Downstream on the Pequay is Herr's Mill, now located in Mill Bridge Museum at Soudersburg. A favorite of the visitors to the Pennsylvania Dutch country, the two-span bridge is 178 feet in length and was originally constructed in 1885 by Theodore Burr. Incidentally, there is a group called the Theodore Burr Covered Bridge Society with membership of some 600 people who are active in the preservation of all covered bridges. This is the narrowest bridge in Lancaster County, Neff's Mill. The 103-foot span is only 11 feet wide. You better blow your horn before you cross. Near this mill on the Pequay is the Lime Valley Bridge. Originally constructed in 1871, it is 104 feet in length. This bridge is rated at only a few tons. However, there are times when it is said 20-ton trucks have gone over it, only realizing what they had done when safely on the other side. Baumgartner's Mill Bridge is located near Martickville. It is one of the best maintained in the area and is a work of beauty. It is 116 feet long, and during rebuilding, the road was straightened such that you could see the mill that gave the bridge its name when looking through the end. The stone mill was constructed in 1800, the bridge in 1860. The Colemanville Bridge on the Peckway was washed away twice during flooding. However, work was underway to move the bridge to piers 5 feet higher as we filmed. Some of the repairs were done in 1899 by Elias McMillan. It is a long bridge at 183 feet and was originally constructed in 1856. Only 2 bridges remain on our tour, both located on the Lancaster County, Chester County line, and both cross the eastern branch of the Octorara Creek. This is Mercer's Mill Bridge. It is the widest in the county at almost 15 feet. The bridge was built in 1880 and is 103 feet in length. Natural wonders abound in this remote location. The granddaddy of all covered bridges in Lancaster County is the Pine Grove Bridge. It spans 195 feet using 2 Burr Arch King Post trusses. The bridge was last restored in 1884 by Elias McMillan. The bridge withstood the 1972 Agnes flood. The Octorara Water Company building and the falls can easily be seen from the middle of the bridge. The bridge connects Lancaster and Chester counties. Lancaster County, land of the Amish, and land of 30 covered bridges.
The Strasburg Railroad is located in the Amish country of Lancaster County. Ellis Bachman, Vice President Administration, tells us more.
The railroad as it is now got started in 1959. None of this was here 25 years ago. All that existed at the railroad was 2 rusted rails running through a patch of weeds from Strasburg to the Lemon Place Junction. Number 31 is the engine we went into business here with back in the early 60s. Number 90 we bought in the late 60s. The 1223 and 7002 are both museum locomotives. We also have a 44-ton diesel locomotive that we bought from the Pennsylvania Railroad some years ago. Well, the present water tower is standing on stilts made from some former utility poles that served us well for a number of years, but the bottom is falling out of it now, so we're building a new steel tank that's more prototypical to railroad. We coal the engines from a dump truck. Stand back, it's dusty. Switch Tower was formerly located at Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. It was known as Lemo Tower, and in years before that it was known as J Tower. That tower is actually owned by the Lancaster Chapter National Railway Historical Society. The station that we use was built a little over a century ago along the Reading system. It was formerly located at East Petersburg, Pennsylvania, and we bought it in the early 60s and moved it here. So it is a real, honest to goodness, small town station. It's factual.
The Strasburg Railroad is called the Road to Paradise for a good reason.